So this is what we have been seeing. And this is what we have been seeing all these days. Started with variables and then data types like numeric dictionary and set we have not seen. We'll see it later. It's not required now. A list, tuple, and dictionary and how strings are stored, slicing a string, condition statements which is used for making decisions, and also if, else if, and these statements, nested if statement, loop statements, right? And how a list is stored, what are the operations which we can perform. The storage is stack allocation. This type of allocation is called as stack allocation. Okay. And then we have seen how can we identify a list like it is created within square brackets. Each element is separated by a comma. Okay. And we have seen what is a tuple. Tuples are immutable, means you cannot make changes to the tuple. And then we have seen a dictionary. And if you look at then we have also seen functions, right? So basically a function has two keywords. One is a def keyword and the other one is return keyword. It can accept some arguments. And finally, it contains some code and documentation. This is what we have seen. Okay. Yes or no? Any doubts still here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
About others? I think Azam, I don't see any voice from you. Okay. Right. Now, we look at here a function. What is the purpose of a function? A function is nothing but some lines of code which will perform a specific task. Like, for example, adding two numbers is a function which will add two numbers and which will give you some result, right? A group of functions together will make a module. Look at here, like a group of functions when you combine, right, together will make a module, and group of modules together will make one package. Okay. So what I want to say is a function. Whenever you have some list of functions, they make one module. For example, max module. I'll come into detail. Just make a note of this diagram and say that a group of functions will make a module and a group of modules will make a library. Just make a note of this diagram. Once you have completed, let me know. Keep the heading as module and write on this diagram. So, what do you mean by a module? Zero 8 is modules. Okay. Basically, what is a mean by module is a file. Basically, module is a file which contains Python code only. Okay. Module is a file which contains Python code. Whenever I'm saying Python code, right? It contains functions, contains variables. Okay. And functions and classes. We have not seen classes. Maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I'll cover the class concept, class and object-oriented or object-oriented programming concept. Okay. So what I'm saying is a module is nothing but a file which contains a piece of code. And what the piece of code can contain variables, functions, and classes. Okay. Now, how can I use this module? Okay. How can I use this module means in order to use a module, we need to use import statement. Okay. In order to use this module, I have to use import statement. For example, I'll create one sample program. Let's say module 1. What I'm saying, module is a file that contains a Python code, right? So I'll create one sample program. It's a Python file I'm giving the name of the program as module 1. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm creating one function. Okay. Let's say def. Def is a keyword which is used to create a function. I'm writing it as it's taking 2 parameters. Okay. And here I'm taking one more variable and I'm adding these two variables and I'm returning this value, return C. Like this, I have created one function. Okay, like this, I have created one function. Similarly, I'll create one more function. Okay, module is a list of functions only, right? I'm creating multiplication. I'll take two variables, a comma b. Okay, and I'm going to say C is equal to a star b, and I'm going to return C. Going to return C. Some indentation issue, right? Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm saving it. Control S, save this code. Now what I'm doing is I have to. What did I say? A module is a file which contains some Python code, and this Python code can be functions, variables, and classes. Right now I'm having function. These are the variables. So in order to use a module, I have to import that particular module. So how do you do that? How do you do that means I'm writing like this import. What is the name of the file? The name of the file is module1. Okay, the name of the file is module1. So now what I'm doing is I'm declaring two variables, x is equal to 10, y is equal to 15, and I'm calling that particular module. So print sum of two numbers is sum of two numbers a comma b is okay dot format x comma y comma. Where is this sum available? Sum is not in this particular file, right? It is available in here. Someone is available here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, since I've already imported that module, I'm going to write as module1 dot sum. And here I need to pass x comma y. Is it clear what I'm talking?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, now I'll run this code. Sum of two numbers dot format, anything extra is should be there. Dot a comma b comma c. Okay, it is returning a value. Where is my string program? Once again, how I need to pass, right? How I need to pass dot format. Okay. What is the problem here? Open brackets, close bracket, dot format, open, close, and it's correct only. This comma, this one, dot format, x comma, y comma. Okay. Okay, let me try to understand. C is equal to y. Here I'm closing this. See line number 12 print sum of two numbers. Second, I'm printing C. Okay. One. Statement. Format variable 1, variable 2, and this complete is comma y comma b. There is a bracket. So this is correct only. Why it is failing? Once again. So what you need to understand here is I can create my functions in some other file. Okay, I can create my functions in some other file and I can reuse them. Okay, how do I reuse them? By importing that particular module. Okay, now similarly what I want to do is similarly what I want to do is I want to print multiplication also. This would be instead of C, I'm going to call this value. This is MUL, right? Okay, because I have a module called as MUL also. Is this clear what I'm talking? Any questions here? Yes, no?
No, sir.
Okay. Just make a note of this module first, and then we write down program and we'll try make some changes to the existing program. Once done, let me know. Done. 4 lines only, right? 6 lines. So I'm creating a module, okay, which contains 2 functions. Is it completed?
Completed, sir. Next one.
I've created a file which contains 2 functions and I'm calling it as a module. See, your file name is the name of the module. Okay, and what is my file name? Module 1 is my file name. So this is the name of the module. Now I'm calling, how do I use the functions in that module? I need to import that particular module. Okay, I need to load it in my program and then I can call the functions. Sometimes, is it completed? Once completed, let now here what I'm saying is I'm inputting module. So there can be situation where we want to import only one function. For example, I want to import only sum and I don't want to import multiplication. So how can we import a particular function? For that we have a keyword called as from module, name of the module. Okay. Okay, from module import someone. Okay. Whenever I'm writing this statement from module 1, so this is from module 1 import someone, then I can directly write it here. I can directly write it here. See, I've imported only someone. I've not imported multiplication one. Then it will throw an error for this value. Multiplication is not available. Okay. So whenever you want to import a particular function from a module and you don't want to import all the functions, right? This is the syntax from module import function. Is it clear? Just make a note of it. Syntax is something like this. From module name import function name. Clear? Huh?
Okay, sir.
Now, sometimes this name would be a larger value, bigger in length, like it may contain some 15 to 20 characters. Okay, it may contain 15 to 20 characters. So what you can do is, in order to minimize it, because every time we have to repeat, right? Whenever you're writing a function module one dot method one, in order to make it simple, what we can do is we can even rename it. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm importing that particular module. Import module one as M1. I'm calling it as M1, and I'm directly using M1 as an alias name. This is called as an alias name. Okay, this is called as a alias name. So we can rename the module name using as keyword. We can rename module name using as keyword. Okay. Is it completed? Like this, we can create n number of modules. For example, I'm going to create one more module. New Python file module 2. Okay. So here, whatever functions I have created, right? I'll create here. I'm going to call it as sub1. The subtraction 1 minus, and say here I'm calling it as division. Okay. I'm creating two. Now, if I want to import these two modules into my main program, so what should I do? Import M1 as module 1, import module 2 as M2. Okay, and I can call all the four functions. This will be here, subtraction. It's M2. Is this clear? We can import n number of modules. Okay, we can import n number of modules. Just make a note of it. First, you make a note of module 2, what we have written. Then you can make a note of the main code.
Sir, if we want to get the text value,
What text value?
instead of functions, say something like send keys something, can we get that in the module?
Means you want to pass something here?
Yeah.
You're passing, right? For example, let's say you are, so this values you want to make it dynamic, like rather than x and 10, you want to make it dynamic.
Not dynamic. Instead of this number value, I want to get in text values like strings.
Okay. Okay, fine. So what we can do is, like, we can create one more function. Okay. For example, I'm creating one function called as grid. Okay. I'm taking it as a name. Okay. What I'm doing is print welcome name. Okay, this is part of. I'm not. Just I'm not. There's no need to return also. This is what I'm doing it. Now what I'm going to do is in module, I'm going to call that particular function. You have to pass some value to it, right?
Yeah.
So it is m1 dot greet.
Great. Okay.
And let's say your name is Sai. This will print me whatever I'm writing here. Welcome Sai. It should print ideally.
Okay.
Okay, you can pass any value. It's not that it's only number or the string. You can pass a list. You can pass a dictionary also. Is it clear?
And yeah, and I can pass this Sai in the main input file also, right?
Main input file means here.
Yeah. Instead of name, yeah, here in the def. Yeah.
If you pass here, it would be always Sai, but you don't want to pass always Sai, right? You want to pass different values here, right? So what you can do is, I'll take one function called as name, a variable called as name, and I'm going to input method, and I'm going to write enter your name.
Okay.
Enter your name, and whatever name you enter, right, that I'm going to pass it.
Okay.
Okay, here. Okay, now I'm entering Shekhar. Okay.
Okay.
Welcome. Let's say I'll enter Azam. Okay, Azam will come. So whatever value you enter, right, that value will come. Is it clear? Okay, just make a note of this program. Once you are done, let me know. Is this, did you make a note of this program?
Yeah, I'm taking screenshot. Can you go to this module 155? Yeah, done, sir.
Done, right? Okay. See, I'm using import, right? The same thing, it can be also done like this from using this one, like from module function name. So from what is my module name? Module 1. I want to import all the functions. Star. Star means it will import all the functions from module 2. Import star. And directly write all this. Okay. Result is same. Here I'm using from module I'm using and I'm specifying that module. This is the best way of doing it. Okay. Rather than this one. Okay. I'll tell you the drawback. I'll tell you the drawback if you're following this pattern. Why? Because let's say this is created by one developer, this is created by another developer. Then the same program, the same function can also be created here, right? Because it is done by two different developers. Yes or no? Now it will throw the error. Why? Because I'm importing both the modules which contain the same function called as multiplication. Module M2 has a function called as MUL1 multiplication. Similarly, module M1 also has the same function called as multiplication. It's not throwing an error. Strange. Ah. 1 second. Need to throw an error. Because now it will throw the error. Yeah. Yeah. No. So we can avoid it. If it is same function also, that this is fine. Because I'm calling with module only. Okay. This is how it can be same function also, it is fine. There's no conflict in the older version, right? Now it's I can directly access. This is correct only. Yeah, no confusion. I don't want to confuse people. This is clear, right? What you are saying. This is how I am going to write functions in different files, and I'm going to import, whenever I'm writing multiple functions in a file, it is called as a module. I'm going to import that particular module. Once I import a module, I can use all the methods in that, I can use all the functions in that particular module. Is this clear what I'm talking? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, now somebody has already created a package called as math. Okay, you need not worry about it. Somebody has already created a package called as math. So I'm importing that. I'm importing that one. For example, I want to find out the square root of a number. Square root of x is dot format. Okay, x comma. You need not, you are not creating this method, right? Somebody has already created and you are calling it math dot square root of x. So this will automatically give you the square root. So this is the square of 10, or let's take a value called as 3 here, or 9 here, and we'll give you the right value. Okay, square root of 9 is 3. So somebody has already created it and we are using it. Okay, is it clear? Now I want to know how many methods somebody created it. We don't know, right? I want to know how many methods are there in my module. Okay, print. For example, math is my module, right? Math dot. Okay, these are all the methods which are there in my module. Okay, by using IntelliSense, it will give you. Let's say if I don't have IntelliSense, okay, then the dir of math. This function will dir function will give me the all the methods in that particular module. So these are all the functions. Okay, these are some special type of variables. So these are all, there is a function called as seal. Okay, copy sign, expression, all these are created by some other person. Square root. Okay, you can even find sign also. Is it clear what I'm talking? And there is some underscore symbol like this, right? Underscore symbols and name is equal. These are called as special variables. Okay, these are called as special variables. Now we'll see few math functions. Okay, like I'm going to calculate the seal of a number. Okay, and seal of a number is my dot. I'll put directly right here. 10 comma 2. Okay, like this I can call all the numbers. Okay, so whatever method you want, right? You need to know what is the name of the method. So it is giving me 11. It will give the upper limit. Okay, it will give me the upper limit, and I think floor will give me the lower limit. Floor. The largest number is not greater than x. Okay. So 300. Okay, it will give the largest number. Okay. And okay, this is what floor is going to do. is going to be the largest value, and seal will give you the, in that case, 10.2 should give me 10.2, sorry, not used it. It should give me 10 only. Yeah, correct. Just make a note of this. If you have any questions, let me know. So somebody has created functions and placed it in a module, and you can start using them. And if you want to know what are the methods you have in that particular module, using IntelliSense, you can press dot. If you don't have IntelliSense, you can use dir as the function. Where it is used as for from the testing standpoint. Let's see where it will be used from the testing standpoint. Once completed, let me
So sir, like in print, like you wrote like floor off, and you need to use this flower packets, or like even if we don't use flower packets,
it is a method, the function, right? Function is taking one parameter. See, this is how it is. Floor takes one parameter, so that should be passed in the brackets only. It's not flower brackets, parenthesis. Okay, so this is called as parenthesis, and this is called as flower brackets. Okay. So whenever you're calling a function, right? How did we call a function? Like we have created in brackets only, right? Flower brackets only. We have done it, right? Yes, sir. This function I created it. Similarly, some other person created a function called as floor and seal, and I am passing my variable in that. Any question? No? Any question? Any small question also okay? Let me know. Irrelevant question is also okay.
Sir, one question. Now here, instead of this mat dot floor is there, right? Can we get this module dot the function which we have there?
Module, this is the module. Math is a module and this is the function.
Okay. And no, in module 2, we have some functions, right? Can we get the same in this similar fashion, like module 1 dot whatever the functions which we have created in module 1 file?
Yeah, we are getting right here.
No, in the same fashion where we got in line number 34. Like, for example, we have used this format parenthesis.
Oh,
X,
you want
yeah.
to, okay.
Yeah,
For
can
example,
we get that way as well? Yeah.
You want, this is the module dot sum.
Right. So can we get those functions here after dot?
Yeah, we can get it.
Okay.
You're getting right.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Someone and sum.
Okay.
And if you want to print, what are the functions in module 1?
Okay. Print.
I'm calling it as M1, right? I'm using aliasing. So I have to use M1. So I've used, these are my 3 functions. Great multiplication 1 and sum 1. Whenever you have this one, these are called as special variables. This is the special purpose of it. We'll see it later.
Okay.
All are not used in the testing standpoint.
Okay.
Now, can somebody tell me where I can use module in testing? Yes.
Didn't understand question.
So this is the concept of a module, right? For example, what module is doing? I'm creating one file. In that file, I'm creating some functions, correct? And I'm using it in my program. Okay. Similar type of concept where we can apply in testing.
In case if there is any repetition.
Okay. Repetition can be done with function also, right? Why to go for a module? Think of it. Okay. So we'll see a few more things for where it is used in testing purposes. So we have one module called as random. Okay, we have one module called as random. Import random. RANDYM. Okay, I want to print the functions in this particular module. I'm removing all these things. Okay, I'll stop it now. So somebody has already created a module called as random, and if I want to know the methods in this, okay, these are the methods which I have in this particular module. Okay, these are the methods which I have it in particular module. There is one method which is very useful from the testing standpoint, which is randinit. Okay, I'll tell you the example and then I'll tell you where it will be used for us. So what I have to do, I have imported that module. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking a for loop for I. I need a list of values, right? My range is I need to repeat this for 10 times. Okay, I need to repeat it for 10 times. Okay. Now I want to print. What I want to print, I want to make use of a function called as rand, which is available in random.randint. Okay. And I want to pass a values 1, 100. Okay, I want to use a value 1, 100. That's it. Let's see what it will do. See, we observe here what it is doing is it is giving me this loop will repeat for 10 times. Why? Because I've given it for 10, or you can give it 1 to 10 also, but I want to give a value. So now this is repeated for 10 times and it will pick a value between 1 to 100. Okay. For example, you have a test case where you are calculating the premium of a person for insurance. LIC, everybody know LIC, right? Any questions? Does anybody don't know LIC? Everybody knows LIC, right? Like depending on the age, right? Our premium will get calculated, correct or not? So we cannot pass a static value because I want to iterate with different age groups and I want to calculate the premium. So from the testing standpoint, I need to generate some random values, right? So whenever I'm running, right, always it will give me some list of random values. Okay. So one thing you need to understand here is module is a file which contains some functions. Some person has created that particular function and we are using the functions. For example, in a module called as random, there is a method, there is a function called as rand in it. It takes 2 parameters. First parameter and whenever you you need a value within this range, right? It will randomly print me the value. Are you able to follow what I'm saying? Is it clear? Or any questions here? So rand integer will give me an integer value between that particular range. And always for every execution, it will give me a different value. Is it clear? Yes, no?
So while importing these functions, like, can we, like, how many functions we have in Python? Like, for suppose, we have a function called as math. We are importing math. Like,
This math is a module, not a function. Yeah.
math is a module. Yeah.
Yeah.
So can we know how many modules we have? Like, for suppose, like, you imported random, but we don't have random or not. We have to know how many modules we have. Like, can we know all of them?
I don't think it's not possible because according to your requirement, you need to load that particular module. Okay. But these are the standard modules like random function, math function. These are the standard modules. Maybe there should be one command which will give me the list of all, because Python is very huge. I'm not exactly sure there is a method which give me the list of all the modules available in Python, but let me check that and tell you. Ideally, whatever module you want to use, right, you should be aware of that. Okay. And let me take for example, I have something like it should be divisible by exactly 5. I means my random number should be multiplication of 5. So what I'm going to do is look at this method. What this method we will do is I'll take one more method called as rand range. This is taking values, comma 5. So it's taking the range values 5. Let's take for simplicity purpose. If it has 10, increment by 2. Giving my range as 10 to 2. Okay, it is printing 7, 9. That is also not required. And range function documentation start, stop, and step. Correct. Start at 1, stop at 10. Okay. Let me take. It is giving a values of step 7, 9, 5. It should not give one value. Terminus in range of 10. So give me 10, right? When I'm writing 10, it's giving me a value of 10. 1 second. So it is giving me values between 1 to 10, correct? Let's say I want values between 4 to 10. Will it give values between 4 to 10? Yeah, it is giving values between 4 to 10 only. It is giving, correct? And whenever I'm giving a value, the difference between two values should be 2 means. Okay, it is jumping by 2, 4, 4, 8, 8. No, don't take this. So we can use these two. Step is I need to do some work on it. So basically, in this range, what I'm telling is it is printing the values between 4 to 10. So one thing you need to understand here is somebody, whenever they are creating a function, right, they are going to place it in one module. You should know the name of the module and you can use the function. You need not write it from scratch. Is it okay? And let's say you have a random list, like you have some random list, like for example, I will create one list. I'll create a list called as names. Okay. And here I'll give you, yeah, tell me.
Sir, this random function will continuously changing the values, sir.
Randomly it will change. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take your names only, Putra. I'm creating one list. Who else is there? Uma and Vaishnavi. YSHA. Okay, like this, I've taken a list. Okay. Now I want to, every time I want to pick a value, like it can be any one of the value, like let's say a list of let's say 4 numbers are there. I want to pick 2 values from this list. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to, or 3 values from this. I'm using a for loop for I in range of 3. Okay, I want to pick any 3 values. So I'm going to use a method called as choice. Random.choice. To pass the names list. Look at here. It will pick any of the 3 values. Okay. See, first time is taken Raja, Azam, and Uma. Second time when you run, right, it will take any of the 3 values. Okay, it can be repeated also. So whenever you want to generate some test data dynamically, right, either you can go with the choice function, or you can go with the rand range function, or you can go with the rand int function. Is it clear? Just make a note of it. If any questions, let me. There is one more function called as rand int. Just make a note. These are generally we'll be using from testing standpoint, like rand init, rand range, and choice.
Sir, one question.
Yeah, please.
Can we concatenate this with anything? Like we have this rand range, right? 4, 10. And if we want to use this ASM and then the range, ASM underscore something like range, can we do that here?
This value and this value you want to say?
Yeah, this value plus any of the range number.
Just it's a concatenation statement, right? Plus you can put it here, and you can rather than repeating here, you can write this value here.
Okay.
1 second, concatenation. You can use and symbols and print. This one plus symbol will be print. Now what we can do is comma. You want to add it in a single line, or you want to?
No, we have one underscore, ASM underscores any number.
Okay. You can put it in, you can put it in a variables, right? You can put it in a variable and you can print them, right?
Okay.
That also you can do it. We have seen formatting, right? Like what are the different ways of formatting? You can, each one you can place in one variable and you can write it down.
Okay.
So clear, right? How to make use of the rand function and how to make use of the modules. Any questions from anyone? Okay, this is how we have seen, like a function will make a module and group of modules will make a library. And whenever there's a conflict, right, we need to access with module dot variable name. So let's say one person has created a program, one person has created a function and he's using a variable var1. Other person is also created one more file and he's also using the same variable, right? How can you identify it? With the module name, like m1 dot, we have the same function, right? M1 and M2 is having the same functions sub1, right? So we need to prefix the name of the module before it. Okay. See, till now, whatever variables we are creating, right? Whatever variables, and once the execution of the program stops, right? That variable is will disappear. That means it is available only in the main memory or the RAM. But if you want to store those values permanently, right, we need to go for files. Okay. So what is a file? Like whenever you want to store the data permanently, right, you are going to save the data into your file. And whenever you are working with files, right, so basically there are two types of operations. One is the read operation, which is used for reading the data. And the other one is the write operation, which is used for writing the data. So one thing we need to understand here is whenever you're trying to open a file, okay, there is a access modes available to that particular file. For example, in order to read data from the file, you need to open it in read-only mode. And in order to write data to your file, right, it should open in read and write mode. And whenever the data already exists, right, it will overwrite that data when you open it in read and write mode. And in order to add data to the existing file, we need to open it in append mode. Okay.